Filters are still essential, even though they are not that essential anymore like they used to be in film era. But polarizers, ND filters, mist filters and light pollution filters are still very useful. H&Y has a new filter system called Swift, and it has a RevoRing too. The package includes all kinds of different filters. You have the RevoRings, of course, then you have different types of magnetic filters, magnetic filter holders, lens hoods, matte boxes, whatnot. There is a big variety of different type of filters that are still quite essential. This might be the best magnetic filter system there is on the market. Let's find out if it is. Hi, it's Peter here. Let's get right into the business and start with the disclaimer. This set of filters were sent to me by H&Y because they have a Kickstarter project for this Swift magnetic filter set. And I do have an affiliate link if you want to back up this project or this product from H&Y. And I will go through in this video how good these are. And let's start with the RevoRing. It's a very revolutionary way of attaching filters to your cameras or to your lenses. The great thing about the RevoRing is that you don't need to have step-up rings or step-down rings or different size filters because it's only like twist, hold and release and then it's good to go. I have two of these, one from 42mm to 62 and then 67 to 82. So this covers all my lenses and I can use these filters with these two RevoRing adapters. And that makes it really useful because previously I've had to do it so that I use step-up rings or step-down rings, and sometimes I even have to attach more of them, and that's not very convenient. And there is one advantage on this because it has also a magnetic lens hood. So now I can use a lens hood on my camera when I'm using variable ND filters. That has not been possible so far with the ND filters that I already have. And it's very essential to have lens hoods so that the front element is in the shadow. That helps a lot with the image quality. That way I can avoid unintentional flares on my images, and especially when I do video, this is really, really useful. And RevoRing is actually quite familiar to me. I already have one of theirs mist filters with has a RevoRing, and I made a video about it and you can watch it from there. The most useful filter that I got was the variable ND filter, which is from 1 stop to all the way up to 10 stops. And it also has a polarizing in it. So it got 2 switches and a scale on the side. You move this one, then you will add the ND filter. And then when you turn this, it will be a polarizer. And the polarizing filter is something that will reduce flares or reflections from water, for example. And here you can see a small video clip where I used it and showed how it works. It's very good. On this video, I talked more about filters in general, so you might want to watch that too. I will put links to both of these videos in the description so you don't have to click away from this video because there is still more to come. But then of course, if you add some glass in front of your lens, like variable ND filters, it will of course reduce the image quality. And some Olympus and OM system cameras have Live ND, which is a built-in ND filter, and it works very well when you're doing photography. But for video, it doesn't work. You still need variable ND filters, and you might still need them even though you use Live ND, because then you have even more ability to block light from your sensor and can get even longer shutter speeds. But for now, we're testing the ND filter. One problem with variable ND filters are that if you are using it full or the biggest amount of light blocking that it can do, sometimes there will be odd shadows and some kind of like a cross shadows in the image. And unfortunately, it is the case with this one too. So if you use it full power or the max on the scale, the image looks like this, and it is unusable. No way you can use this. It's impossible to correct. So the maximum amount of ND is on scale 5. And that's okay if you just remember that, but I think they should have put the hard stop right there and not have it kind of like a theoretical max. And I think that's a big downside on this one. The whole Swift system consists of like 3 different parts. It's the base, which is the RevoRing, and then there is the second layer called the bridge, and that is the filters and adapter to square filters. And then there is the top accessories, which are square filter holder, hood and matte boxes. So it stacks up quite a bit of in front of your lens, and it's not heavy, so it's not a problem for your lens or your camera or anything like that. And it might be a bit complicated to use and to, have all the parts with you and everything. But in general, I think the idea of having a RevoRing and magnetic filters is genius, and I will be using this, especially I will be using the variable ND filter, because it's very good that I can have a lens hood on my lenses now when I use the variable ND filters. And the quality is totally fine. There is not much, or if at all, color shift or any other things that will make the image quality worse. Except the fact that if you use it maximum, it's not usable because of the funny shadows or different odd shapes of shadows that it will produce on the images. And here is the options that you can back up this whole project. And of course, if you back it up, you buy the things. And when you do it in Kickstarter, of course, there is a small risk that it won't happen and you will lose your money. But I have to say that H&Y is a company that has been around, so it's not something totally new and not known company that is doing this. And their RevoRing is, in production. It was also a Kickstarter campaign and they did that, so they know what they're doing. And the benefit of using Kickstarter is that you can get it with reduced price. And one thing that I'm interested in are these frames that you can attach to your old square filters. And this is something that I might look into and see if I can use these, because I do have some filters that I bought for my 7-14mm with the filter holder. So those filters had not been used that much because I have the 8-25 now and the 7-14 hasn't been used that much. And I could use those filters on my lens, those old ones that are intended for the 7-14mm. So I will look into those and see if that's something that I might even buy. But all in all, I really like the idea of magnetic filters, and it will make the use of filters a lot faster and easier. And I don't need to use the step-up rings and step-down rings and have different size filters. That's not very convenient. I think RevoRing and the magnetic filters are really a good idea. And this is the good part. The not so good part is, of course, the variable ND filters maximum strength, and it has these odd color shift and the shadows. And here is the video about the RevoRing mist filter, which is quite useful for many things. You might want to watch that video to find out what it is all about. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.